Hello all. This video is about the timelines and the merging of the timelines that we are currently going through. There's a lot of information regarding this, say, merging of timelines, and it's really interesting how we in our physical forms and levels of our consciousness that are tied to our physical bodies really perceive these different timelines. Right now, what we're going through collectively is what could be described as the new paradigm timeline, is merging and at the same time dissolving the older, say, timelines that have been in place within the, say, 3D reality. So as we individually on Earth, the people, are integrating more of their own eternal knowledge of who they are, integrating more of their own love, accepting themselves, and then living that knowingness and so on in their daily lives, what we are doing is we are anchoring the new paradigm timeline here in the present. It's not that the new paradigm, even though it's described new, it's not necessarily new within, say, creation, but we as individuals in physical form are just now experiencing it in different ways. A lot of people over the last few years have, when they've, especially people that see more into, say, the future or sense what's coming down the road in different ways, haven't really been able to see past the end of December of 2012. Many people that do remote viewing have also reported this for many years regarding not being able to see past December of 2012. The reason for this is that those specific timelines that are tied into this third dimensional reality are beginning and will be getting shut down in some ways. And so when I'm saying shut down, it's not a matter of fear that there is going to be fear of loss, but there is a matter of merging going on. We, again, are the people within this third dimensional reality, which are anchoring the new paradigm timeline, which is also could be described as the new paradigm consciousness of this new age that we are moving into, with more unity consciousness and love without conditions. That again happens and takes place the more that the people and us in physical form accept who we are and ground ourselves here in the physical. When we are doing that, we are changing the patterns. We are changing and putting our own essence out into the collective fields, which are changing which is changing the program, which in essence is merging the old with the new, which is developing its own essence, our own collective essence, that is then evolving, which is then we're moving into the next age of collective oneness and so on. So, and a lot of times, of course, we viewed this year of 2012, and it's been written, and there's been a lot of information out there regarding fear, and so much, say, catastrophes and all the, like, the world is ending and all these different things. A lot of that information has been tied into the old timelines. What could be described as some of the timelines carried over from Atlantis. Some of the things that we have gone through, even though a lot of people don't even aware that they were involved in Atlantis. The majority of people, a very large percentage of the people here in physical form were on Atlantis. And those same timelines that were carried over from Atlantis are being relived, because this is the time period that basically the collective, as us, a collective on Earth at that time in Atlantis, were not ready to move on into the next dimensional octave of, say, experience. Therefore, there was a, and as it wasn't the first time, but at that time there was a, of course, pole shift. And when that happens, the collective memory bank is, in essence, wiped out. Reset, and then we learn, of course, we go through a period of having to remember who we are again for a very long period of time until we get to another cycle period like we're currently in, where we have the opportunity to evolve as a collective. So a lot of these patterns and these programs and this remembrance that tied into our, say, collective Akashic records are coming up right now. There's a lot of, say, beings or brothers and sisters of manipulation, of course, know this and are spurring, say, fear and more separation and duality, say, views to keep the people's consciousness in that level of unknowingness. And how that's done, it's not a matter of somebody, say, oppressing us. That would be, and from the standpoint of victim consciousness, that these beings or these other energies and so on are suppressing us and everything else. Yes, this control and manipulation has been going on for a very, very long period of time. But just to see that these beings and this energies and all these programs that have been in place here in this 3D reality are only to assist people in stepping into their own power. When victim consciousness is let go of, people step more into their power. In order to do that, it's not through fear, judgment, or any separation. It's a matter of embracing and living from your heart. When you do that, you're accepting who you are. You are accepting your divine essence and the divine order of all energies and all beings within this universe. You see the role that everybody's taking, and you are accepting the way things are in this reality. When you do that, you're stepping more into your own love, your own inner trust. And what that's doing at the same time that every single person is doing that, it's changing the program. Every single person on earth is a part of this collective puzzle of our collective consciousness. And the more people that step into their own knowingness, we're starting to remember who they are and letting go of all this fear, this judgment, this separation, and really embracing their own beingness, we're also embracing ourselves as a collective also, which is changing and merging these timelines even to a greater degree. As I was mentioning about a lot of the people that have not been able to see past December of 2012, many people that are really tying into this new paradigm timeline now are seeing well into next year, well into, say, the end of next year and beyond, which was not there before. It was only, you know, the new paradigm timeline, or whatever you can call it, whatever you wish to call it. It's also a collective grid of consciousness, which is tied into the 144 crystalline grid, or what you can call the unity conscious grid, or the Christ conscious grid, or whatever you wish to call it. It's all tied together and it's all working together. We are all working together. There's no other beings. We have many other brothers and sisters, star brothers and sisters here assisting us through this period of time. But we in physical form are the ones, are the change makers, who are the timeline architects, or the say, the bridgers of these timelines together. Every single person, again, is playing a role. So no one is left out, and there's no one is separate from these levels. But as we go through this time of this merging of these timelines, there are many things that are tied into this cycle that we're currently developing out of and moving into, and is tied into the 12-12-12, which is the completion of this 12th level of the grids, but also the 12-21, which is in completion of one of the, say, precession and equinoxes. And with that, basically, we're getting more solar energy, more solar wind and energy coming from the sun, which in turn is fueling and bringing energy to these new crystalline grids that are now set up around the Earth. As the energy comes in from the sun, what most people might view as sunbursts or CMEs or whatever, but this is all those blasts of energy that are coming from the sun are actually in divine order, and they are also being regulated by many levels of different, our brothers and sisters upstairs. A lot of these energies coming from the sun are being regulated, but they're also creating change. And what needs to happen just with our physical bodies, but also with the collective and the earth, is it's the levels of consciousness that have to change first before we have physical change. It goes the same with our physical bodies. We must anchor our own divine knowingness into the physical in order for the physical to manifest, or say transform into a higher energetic form. It goes for anchoring. That's the same for descension must happen before ascension can happen. It's not a matter of anybody doing it for any one person or us as a collective. We have to do it. We are each responsible for anchoring our own divine essence here in the physical. So as these solar winds, the solar energies coming from the sun, it's activating these new crystalline grids that are up around the earth. It's tied into the 12-12-12, which is the completion of these grids. As this, say, increased frequency of energy hits these grids, it has to be distributed. It has to be integrated. So as it's integrated through the people, and the people are tied to the grids of the earth, there's no separation between the grids of the earth and the collective consciousnesses of the people. So as it's distributed through the people, levels of consciousness here on earth, the people in themselves are going to be going through whatever in the world there is lower frequency energies and so on are coming up, because in order for higher frequency energy to be integrated, the lower frequency energies and these ties of separation, consciousness, these fears and so on have to be raised to the surface in order to be cleared. Yes, as far as earth changes goes, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, all these different things, earth changes in all different ways. It's just like we as a physical form have to go through changes in order for it to integrate energy. As Mother Earth stretches and expands and moves, there's going to be changes, but the amount of these changes really depends on the collective, say, vibrational energy of the people in different regions and different parts of the planet that have to shift in order for Mother Earth to be in balance. And this is all tied during these changes, and it really, again, doesn't have to be viewed from a fearful standpoint of loss or, say, major change. This is actually a very exciting time. Mother Earth and we as a people are evolving into a new collective experience, and that is what the new paradigm timeline is. for all that are feeling frustration, anger, inner resentment towards one person or another, really see or look within yourself the reason why and what you're holding on to that's creating that. There's no one to blame for anything that we are individually experiencing or anyone else in the world. There is a reason why every single person is experiencing what they are. In order to really, once you let go of what you're holding on to, what is causing the resistance and not allowing this higher frequency energy to be integrated, you then will sense and feel the changes of being in the flow of this new paradigm energy, this new collective energy of unity consciousness. Everything flows so much easier when you're in that flow of creation. You're in the flow of your own dimensional levels of your eternal being at that time. And things just seemingly just flow together. The people you're coming in contact with and so on. And so in order for these things to happen, yes, either that might be pressure for you to change in relationships with certain people you're with right now, certain jobs that you're doing, even where you live, you might be feeling pressure to move from the place you live and move to a new place that feels so much more at peace, much more at balance. There's reasons for that. So all I do is just pass along the information to you all right now to really focus in on your hearts. Listen to your heart consciousness. Listen to your I am presence and really tie into that feeling of more peace, balance, harmony. Feel where it exists. Let your heart lead you. Listen to your heart. There is a reason why you are feeling what you're feeling. All is in divine order. There is no loss. There's only transformation and change. This change that we're going through right now can be viewed in a lot of different ways. We as individuals and collectively, we have the choice of how we're going to go through this transformation period of time. The more people that align with one another, that are in sync with one another as far as their own heart and really love everyone no matter what they're going through. Be a resource and pure love without conditions. Know that to see that the changes that are currently taking place are all in divine order. And love, just be the love. Anchor and get in tune with the tranquility and the flow of this new paradigm timeline. It exists right now. The more that we are anchoring it into physical, then after we are anchored and so much more of these grids come online and they are fueled by the solar energy, that's when more and more of the physical changes will essentially start taking place. We will start gathering together and things will manifest as far as that goes. So get in tune with your heart consciousness. Feel, trust your own self. Don't give your power away to anyone or anything. Truly live and be yourself. Not the self of the ego that sees separation, fear, and judgment, but your eternal essence which knows that this transformation period is all in divine order. And truly, this is a very, very exciting period of time on Earth. We're going through a beautiful event here. It's a creational change that has been set in the stars for a long time, and we are doing it right now. So I honor every single person on Earth right now that's really working together and just being love right now. as more and more we awaken to our own eternal essence, is to get that eternal essence here. Get yourselves here. Be real. Let go of the illusion and separation. So, till next time, namaste.